Hello and welcome to what is to be a Lake Monster Lures Christmas special. And in today's special, we are making a popper. And unfortunately, I won't be able to fish it for a while, but I figured it would make for the best version of a Santa Claus lure that I could carve out. So please hit the subscribe button and let's get straight into it. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's go. Alright, here come the fun facts, but first a disclaimer. The following information contains factual and historical information about the checkered past and origins of Santa Claus, which, as you may learn, might spark some controversy. Parent guidance is strongly suggested. So, here we go. During these facts, you will learn that the modern character of Santa Claus has gone through a lot to become who he is today. His beginnings vary depending upon where you are in the world, and so do his habits. While here in the United States, Santa is a jolly, robust old fellow who drives a sleigh pulled by flying reindeer, dressed in a fluffy red and white winter outfit. In other countries, the details are often very different. The modern-day St. Nicholas, or Santa Claus, in America stems from the English figure of Father Christmas and the Dutch figure of Santa Claus, or Sinterklaas, and perhaps also the Norse god Odin from mythology. In fact, the holiday of Christmas was an invention created during the Reformation to direct misplaced pagan values towards Christianity. But more on that later. So, the portrait of Santa, as described before, was not the common opinion until around 1823 due to the popularity of a poem titled A Visit from St. Nicholas, also known as 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It was in the publishing that character artist and political cartoonist Thomas Nast was the first to pen his likeness to paper. Some say that the image got its roots from the Dickens novel A Christmas Carol, in which the ghost of Christmas Present wears a winter coat of green lined with white fur, and is portrayed as a jolly bearded fellow who brings about good cheer. But the roots of his appearance and character go deeper. In fact, St. Nicholas was a real person. Back in 400 AD, St. Nicholas was a Christian bishop of Turkey, and was actually painfully thin and dressed in traditional robes. In life, Nicholas was known for his generous gifts to the poor, and in particular presenting 3 impoverished daughters of pious Christians the dowries so that they would not have to become prostitutes. Once sainted, Nicholas became the patron saint of children, archers, sailors, Amsterdam, Moscow, and, of course, pawnbrokers. During the Middle Ages, often on the evening before his name day of 6 December, children were bestowed gifts in his honor. This date was earlier than the original day of gifts for children, which moved in the course of the Reformation and in its opposition to the veneration of saints in many countries on the 24th and 25th of December. Now, here is something interesting. The custom of gifting to children at Christmas was propagated by Martin Luther as an alternative to the previous very popular gift custom on St. Nicholas Day to focus the interest of children to Christ instead of the veneration of saints. Martin Luther first suggested that Kris Kindle, think Kris Kringle, should be the bringer of gifts. Kris Kindle means Christ child. But St. Nicholas remained popular as the gift bearer amongst the people. I guess they didn't want to picture Jesus coming to their house and giving them gifts. In the Netherlands, Sinterklaas arrives by boat in mid to late November. He then rides about the villages on horseback with his sidekick of sorts, Swarty Pete, or Sooty Pete, which translates to Black Peter. He was said to be St. Nicholas's Muslim slave, or a slave that St. Nicholas freed. Either way, he's often portrayed by people dressing up in blackface, and I mean a lot of people would dress up like this, or do dress up like this, so yikes. However, since the year 2021, only a year, the character has changed his name to Sooty Pete, and he is now just a guy covered in soot from the chimneys, which to me seems almost more racist, because they're like, but we can still dress up like this, right? look, they only have a little bit of blackface. Gifts are then left in the children's clogs by the fireside in the morning of December the 6th. The origin of Sinterklaas and his helpers have been linked to some by the wild hunt of Odin. While riding the white horse Sleipnir, Odin flew through the air as the leader of the wild hunt. He was always accompanied by 2 black ravens, Hugin and Munin, and I am sorry for just destroying those names. But these helpers would listen, just like Swarty Pete, at the chimneys of the homes they visited to tell Odin the good and bad behavior of the mortals below. Christmas celebrations began to become pretty wild during the Middle Ages up until the 1800s. They would include aggressive home invasions under the guise of wassailing. And I learned that wassailing was not unlike trick-or-treating, in which people would go door to door looking for handouts. But they would be disorderly and drunk and would sing in the streets, not unlike soccer hooligans going to and from a match. It was also said that people would participate in substantial premarital sex and public displays of sexual deviancy while celebrating. So it's safe to say that we've come a long way since then, or have we? Our modern-day Santa has a lot to do with a lot of mixed-up retellings of folklore gone awry. But moreover, the image of him is mostly thanks to Coca-Cola, actually, who commissioned a Michigan-born illustrator named Haddon Sundblom to develop some pictures for advertisements. Sundblom said he based his version of Santa off of Clement Clarke Moore's poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, but also from his friend and salesman, Lou Prentice. Subsequently, Coca-Cola wanted the Santa figure to be approachable and not so stern as depicted in their previous attempts. Sundblom's Santa debuted in 1931 in Coke ads, and then eventually in the Saturday Evening Post. So there it is. That's how Santa Claus came to be. Hopefully that was informative and interesting to you guys. And I'm just going to finish up the lure here. And yeah. So there it is, the final product. It is a Santa Popper. And guys, I am so confident that this would actually catch a fish. However, it is a blizzard outside right now, literally. And I think in the last couple of hours, we've got a foot of snow here in Minnesota. So it's going to be a while before I get to use this one out. I did do a red treble hook for the belly, and then this white and red trailer hook at the end. And yeah, I think it turned out really well. I will have to hold on to this one for the spring, and we'll do a video catching on all these lures that I'm going to make over the winter time period. Stay tuned to the next video that's coming out. I'm going to be making an ice fishing rod. That one I will be able to test out. So thanks so much for subscribing, hitting that like button, and I'll see you on the next one.
Happy Christmas.